Hey collective, welcome to the channel. How you guys doing? So I was just over here pulling some cards, and I'm feeling led to give a message to you. I just wanted to actually share this message with you. I have out here my astrology cards, as well as the African Goddess Rising cards, and let me just go ahead and show you all the cards that have come out. So we have here Sagittarius. You could be a Sagittarius. You could be dealing with the Sagittarius, or you could just have it in your chart, in a major placement in your chart.
When do I know the broth is ready?
And just let it cook for a little bit.
Bye.
Okay. So the Sagittarius, their element is fire, and they are a mutable sign. Their quality is mutable. Their ruling planet is Jupiter. So you know that Jupiter is the planet of abundance. Their associated house is the 9th house. You show me love. Their symbol is the archer or centaur. Sometimes the centaur is shown as well with with the bow and arrow as well. Their phrase is I see. Their opposite sign is Gemini, so their south node is in Gemini. The key words for this sign are ambitious, optimistic, independent, philosophical, energetic, careless, expansive, blunt, pushy, and adaptable. Okay? So I'm going to show that to you again so you guys can see. I need to show. And then the next card out was Pisces. Okay, so then we have here the element is water. Their quality is mutable. So we have two mutable energies out here. They're what?
It's Gigi's birthday.
Oh, well, tell her happy birthday. Might be your birthday. Happy birthday if you're watching this. So we have the ruling planet as Neptune. Associated house is the 12th house. So I want to say that's the house of mystery. Yeah, it is. Their symbol is the fish. Their phrase, I believe. So you see and you believe. And their opposite sign is Virgo. So you also may take a lot of self-reflection. You also may be very analytical, because with the south node as well, you may just be very analytical, very behind the scenes. Like almost like a matter of fact, like in your thinking, like you just know, like, oh no, this is what this is, and like this is how some shit needs to be operated. You know what I mean? Also it says keywords: receptive, imaginative, depressed, intuitive, emotional, lazy, psychic, magical, impractical, and empathic. So you may have Sagittarius in your sign, you may have Pisces in your sign, you may have Gemini in your sign, or Virgo in your sign. You may like to go in hermit mode and spend a lot of time to yourself, but when you go out into just like chilling with people, you're very charismatic, you're very engaging person. You don't give your energy away to just everybody. Okay, so this is cool. We have 2 master numbers out here as well within the goddess cards. So the next card is the south node. So you guys could be working through south node like karma. You guys could be learning lessons right now. This should smell good. My daughter wanted me to make her a broth, and I can smell it right now. Yeah, she because she wants to make some noodles, so she was like, Mom, make this. I'm like, oh, okay. So theme is karmic lessons. Keyword: natural qualities, default aspects, overdeveloped, laziness, undoing. So you guys may have a bit of laziness to you. You guys may rest on your laurels. I suggest you go and you look up what your south node is. My south node is it actually is Sagittarius. And I'm going to talk to you about the Sagittarius column. I'm going to go column by column and let you guys know. But it says the south node of the moon is the direct opposite of the north node in a natal chart. So you guys may be working through your south node right now so that you can get, so that you can get to your north node path. So you can have a more clear direction of where you're going, the qualities that you have. Your south node is basically, it represents your past life. You may have actually been that sign, whatever it is, in a past life. I know a lot of people, they say that, but I also believe that it's also the energy acquired during that lifetime, and you know what I mean. And then it places you in a, when you're reborn, it places you into a new, like it places you into, you know, whatever new energy that you're meant to work towards. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like the accumulated knowledge of that life. So let's see, it says this shows what you fall back on, where your comfort zone is. So maybe go and read up on your south node and see like if that resonates within your soul. Also look up your south node in Vedic astrology, if you know what I mean. It's going to give you a whole lot more insight. I suggest that you look at all of your signs, both Western and Vedic, because you're going to get a way better printout of the type of person that you truly are. You know, some things in my Western chart, I'm like, that don't really mesh well. Like, not even mesh well. It don't even like line up to who I feel I am inside. It doesn't resonate, is the word. It doesn't resonate. Some things. But when I go and I look over in my Vedic chart, I'm like, holy, yeah, that's like spot on. That's like nail on. So that's why I'm giving you that type of advice. And it also will help show and point to you where you can develop further at, what skills need development. You know, so you know, so like if you achieve things, I believe that you guys are actually I believe that you guys actually are blessed with in your chart, that you guys can achieve or overcome. That's the word I'm looking for. You guys can overcome a lot of different things very easily. Like, you're blessed in that area. Some things you may have to work a little bit for, but you'll achieve whatever your goal is in that area. You know what I mean? Like, when you're like, oh, this is what I want to do, like, you're going to be able to do it. I feel like you guys just have an overall great energy where your things aren't too difficult for you. Also, so it says this shows what you fall back on, where your comfort zone is. Settling into what is comfortable can undermine your life. Laziness and ultimately self-undoing can be the result of not pushing yourself towards the lessons that the North Node has to offer. So you want to get out of your comfort zone. Do not get lazy and procrastinate with yourself, so that you can become like a very unbound yourself so that you can become a well-rounded individual. So somebody here is bound by their past, and they're maybe not seeing places where they can develop. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And then we also have sextile here. See where your sextiles are in your chart? Unreal. It may seem unreal to you, right? So then we have here 60 degrees apart. These are what create sextiles. Sextiles, this is also, it looks like an asterisk, doesn't it? These are also where you'll be able to find your sextiles in your chart if you're more prone to symbols. Let me see. That's the South Node symbol. You know, that's Pisces. And then that's Sagittarius. Looks like an arrow or a sword with a tip to me. So then sextile. Sextiles bring opportunities and harmony. This aspect appears when planets are 2 signs apart in a birth chart. Sextiles are positive but not easy like trines. When you have a sextile, you will need to put forth effort to achieve your potential benefit that is there. If you do not, it may be a wasted opportunity or undeveloped talent. Okay, so let's get into these rows that I have, and then we'll do some more. So under Sagittarius, we have the number 24, which talks about partnerships, creating foundations, and then both of those numbers together, harmony and balance. So I feel like maybe when you have harmony and balance within your life, even in your partnerships, and when you've created a foundation or you're trying to create a foundation, you may self-sabotage yourself. You know what I'm saying? You may self-sabotage, and this causes a lot of grief in your life, a lot of problems in your life. You know, you may not use the wisdom because, like, what are they called? Naga spirits. Actually, I'm gonna look up the Naga for you. I feel like that has a lot of meaning for you. Naga. It says Naga, Sanskrit, serpent. You remember it? This reminds me of the chick that was in The Golden Child with Eddie Murphy, old school movie. If you know, you know. If you don't, go look it up. But there was and they were Buddhist. I think it was like a Buddhist freaking temple. But there was this Naga serpent lady, and you know, she was an oracle. She could see things. When I say oracle, I mean like she could see things, kind of like the Oracle of Delphi or type stuff. And there was a scene where Eddie was like, "Let me see you," and she was like, "No," like telling him, like, because she was telling him all kind of like stuff, and he ended up pulling down the veil. It's so crazy because she ended up burning. I felt really bad, but she talked like with a snake, like you know, she was like, when she would say stuff, you could hear the in her voice, and like also her tail would rattle like a rattlesnake. So those things may be meaningful to you. So you guys could be transforming. And you know, the rattlesnakes, they're poisonous creatures. So your self-sabotage is poisoning your life. And this is something that you need to get to the root cause of. See why it is. It could have to do with things from your childhood. Maybe you weren't loved enough as a child. Maybe you weren't, I'm hearing honored, or you felt like, maybe you felt like you weren't worthy of things because of how your childhood developed. Maybe you didn't have, you know, your father there. Maybe you didn't have your mother growing up, and, you know, we all need them to be there for us as we're developing. Maybe you felt like you didn't have a voice. So you had to become independent. You had to be very adaptable. But you always held on to like being optimistic. You developed different philosophical viewpoints, and they further developed in your life, and you know, this kind of helped you to get through life. Sometimes like maybe you were very very blunt with things, and people misunderstood you. They misunderstood your nature. You know what I'm saying? But let me read about the Naga for you. It says, Naga, Sanskrit, serpent. In Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism, a member of a class of mythical, semi-divine beings, half human and half cobra. Ooh, so yeah.
Is that broth done now?
Go test it out and see if it tastes good to you. They are strong, handsome species, so you're very attractive, who can assume either wholly human or wholly serpentine form, and are potentially dangerous but often beneficial to humans. So you're not grasping or grabbing onto the things that you may not feel worthy of, the skills, potential gifts, your talents that you hold within inside of yourself. You may not be fully utilizing them. What are Naga's powers? Their powers, they bring rain and thus fertility and prosperity, and are guardians of treasure, but are also able to cause natural disasters such as floods and droughts when angered. So it was raining yesterday. So cool. So you're very fertile at this moment. You have a very prosperous energy. You are actually a treasure here on this earth, but I'm feeling like you're not seeing that about yourself. You may not see that about yourself. You may not see, because like we have self-sabotage there. We also have grief. I think I showed you grief. And then right underneath that is divine lineage, right? I feel like you come from a divine lineage, and you're not, maybe you're coming into realization of it, but you haven't fully grasped the meaning and understanding of that. You've had a lot of grief in your life, and I feel that now you're bringing in balance and harmony into your life. This is what's trying to come in. Maybe you had a little bit of it coming in, and then you experienced grief in it, maybe due to not speaking up for yourself in whatever situations. You saw how things like were going, but you didn't express yourself, right? Nagas tend to be curious and benevolent towards humans unless they have been mistreated or provoked. I feel like you were mistreated. I feel like you were provoked in your past, because I'm also being brought back to the scene where I was talking about in The Golden Child with Eddie Murphy, where, you know, it's so messed up, because like she was, the Naga spirit, I don't think that she was evil at all, but I think that if I'm remembering correctly, I feel like maybe Eddie thought that she was. I forget his name in the movie, but I feel like maybe Eddie Murphy felt like she was, or he didn't trust her, or maybe he was like, oh, she's a monster. He didn't understand her significance, you know what I mean, her majesty or beauty or whatever, and he basically caused like that whole entire her shrine where she was, her temple where she was at, to burn. You're gonna take a shower? Yeah. Okay. It says there are 12 dimensions of a Naga which are worshipped in India. These are called Anatta, Vasuki, Shisha, Padma, Kambala, which is Kambala, Karkokotaka, Ashvarata, or Ashvitara. Excuse me if I butcher like saying these. I'm not meaning to. Western tongue, you know what I'm saying? Daritara Shatra, Sankapala, Kaala, or Kaalaya. So Kaalya, Takshakara, or Takshaka, and Pingala. These are the 12 aspects of the mystical dimensions of the snake. Maybe you should go look it up. Nagas are a race of semi-divine serpent creatures in Hindu and Buddhist mythology. Female Nagas are called Nagis or Naginis. Okay, so I think that's enough for that. But I feel like you need to, there's some more there for you. You may have, because you in your past you felt unworthy, but you've always known that there was more to you, like that you were divine, or that you should have, your life didn't match up to how you felt inside, like energetically. You may also have had people in your past trying to solve things with you on an energetic like type of plane and not come and talk to you about things. Maybe because you were blunt, or maybe because they felt like you were pushy. You know what I mean? But even so, you're the type of person, I really believe that, you know, you talked about things. Like, you would try to talk about things, and maybe people would just brush you off. They wouldn't even pay attention to you. They didn't honor you as a person, like who, as an individual. I feel like you're the type of individual whom is very loyal, honest, and that you give of yourself, like so much of yourself, and it's not necessarily appreciated how it should be. Okay, so we're going to go over into the column of Pisces, you know, with the emotions, with your psychic. So you guys are actually very, very psychic, and you take a very philosophical approach to your psychic development, to your abilities, to relaying messages. You see things that other people don't see, even in mundane things. Like, you bring meaning to the mundane, you know. So this is a part of your gift. You know what I'm saying? So we have here harvest here. You know, I feel like you're coming into a time of harvest. You're walking into this time of harvest with 43. This harvest is being brought in, heaven sent, right? And you're going to have other people whom are going to rage against it. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe like Rage Against the Machine. Look, we even have, is that Medusa's head? Let me see, because I was actually looking up something when I was looking up the Naga. It said, is Medusa a Naga? Hold on. Where's it at? Maybe I go up some. Was it there? No. I just seen that. Yes, Medusa a Naga. Hold on. I want to show you so you don't think I'm like... You see, second to last is Medusa a Naga. Let's see. That looks like the Medusa head, like the shield. And we know about Medusa, right? Medusa was, they say that she was a witch. She was a priestess. I forget if, was she a priestess, Athenian priestess? I can't remember. But she was a priestess, 2209. She was raped. And, or no, maybe she was a priestess, like I don't know, but I think Hera turned her to protect her into this creature. No, she wasn't. She wasn't. I don't think she was a Naga. She was, it started with a G. Gorgon or something like that. But let me see, actually. Medusa is the oldest. Oh, okay, maybe so. So maybe the Naga race started with her. A Medusa is the oldest Naga of the race, perhaps even immortal. They are reportedly descended from the original Medusa, who drained the life force of her sisters to harness such powers. That's so freaking crazy, because yesterday I took one of my neighbors to the grocery store, and I was listening. Oh my gosh, I was watching, while she was in the store, I was like in my car or whatever, watching videos. And I was watching videos from, what is her name? Something Yaya. But anyways, I'm going to look it up in a minute. She was talking about people who have died from witchcraft. And like this lady who was a voodoo priestess. She used voodoo to kill some of her husbands and things like that. And I was telling her about it, and she was like, yo, whoa. She was like, oh my gosh, she was telling me about another reader that like she comes across in this. She was like, I'm probably going to come across her in a couple of days, because she's like, whenever someone tells me about stuff like this, she always pops up on her timeline. She knows that there's a message for her, because it'll pop up like a couple of days later or something. But she was telling me, she was like, yeah, I watched this one where she was like, yeah, she was telling a story about how these witches were consuming other witches to gain their magical powers. And what's so crazy too is because I looked up the god, I was like, well, who's the god over psychic abilities and magic? And it mentioned it was an ancient Egyptian god, but I can't remember his name. But he was like he's like the oldest God, like kind of going back to he was there before the creation of other things. I think he came out of chaos or something like that. But it also spoke about cannibalistic stuff like that. And I just feel like that has something to do with this. So somebody may be trying to consume your harvest, and they may be enraged because they can't do it. Maybe Medusa protects you. Maybe the Naga protect you. These are a part of these are your spiritual totems. And what's really crazy too is because I was watching from the same, let me see what her name is. Oh, it wasn't on this phone. Okay. It was on the other phone. I think her name was Black Witch Yaya. I watched a video today talking about Marie Laveau, and her card actually came out. And I found that like kind of crazy when I was pulling, like shuffling the cards, and they all fell out, and I was pulling them, to lay them down. But anyways, her story means a lot too. So maybe you have witches or you have a spiritual bloodline of high priestesses, of maybe you are a spirit priestess. Marie Laveau was a spirit priestess, and this could have been hidden from you with the masks. People are going to be mad at the harvest that's coming in for you. You know what I mean? Because, they see that you're very mystical. They see that you're very empathic. They may try to fuck with your emotions, trying to make you emotional. But I feel like you're the type of, you're very intuitive as well. But I feel like you're the type of person whom that shit don't bother you. People trying to poke a needle at you, it doesn't bother you. And maybe this enrages them. You know what I mean? I feel like you've gotten a handle on your emotions and how you want to move forward. How you want to move forward as well. And then we have, the South Node, your karmic lessons. I feel like you've had to learn how to surrender to life, that you've had to surrender your fears, surrender your past, the self-sabotage energy, that grief, and maybe rage. I feel like you've had like righteous rage though. I don't feel like it was just like regular rage. It was because like you're like, no, I treat you guys good. I treat you very well. I'm very loving. Like I feel like your core at heart, your core is that you love. Like you're just a blatant, like you're a love energy. And I feel like when your rage comes through, like you're righteous, like I feel like it's righteous, you know what I mean? Like rightly so. Because you're like, I don't treat you this way. Why are you treating me this way? Why are you even treating other people this way? Like, what good is that? Because you want to be selfish? No, like, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like even like when you have people who honor you, you're very loving, you're very giving to them. To the point sometimes to where it can make other people fuck up because they're like, why is this person so good to me? Because they start feeling inadequate or something like that. I don't know. But Spirit is saying that you've surrendered, you know what I mean? And now you're in the energy or a space, or you're coming into an energy of space of living out loud, of living with life, dancing with life, just having more joy and having more fun. And this is helping you to shine. This is helping your energy to come through even more stronger, your light to grow even brighter. I feel like you've uncovered the masks of the people in your past that were there to bring that self sabotage energy. Like maybe you didn't grow up in a household that taught you anything. You know what I'm saying? So you didn't know how to go about and do different things. You had to learn on your own, and you started to recognize like, oh, okay. Because you dealt with it at such a young age, like when other people would come into your life, you were able to like discern and know like, okay, you that energy, can't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like you're now like really standing and shining in that. You're standing strong in that power. that you've developed. Yeah. Where once you were like being undermined, you're no longer being undermined because you see, you know, and you see different human types as well. You've learned those lessons. And I feel like also you could be overcoming, like I said, like self-sabotage, laziness, and things like that. So you're no longer, I don't feel like you're not settling. You're not, I feel like you're coming out of the energy of resting on your laurels, resting on the gifts that you know, like you already have. And you know what I mean? Like it made you kind of lazy in the past. And I feel like you're picking things up. You're taking action. Right? So then let's move to the sextiles row, right? So we have here Mami Wata, naked, right? 30:44 on the clock. This is oh, and this card is the number 30. And right next to it with surrender is 44. So you could be mirroring things. You could have a person in your life mirroring as well. But I feel like you've laid bare yourself. You're looking at yourself in a raw form. You're seeing the potential that you have. You're seeing where your underdeveloped talents are, and you're working on them. You're starting to speak up more. You know, you're starting to speak your truth more. You're starting to speak the messages that you get from your ancestors. This is the other master number 33. So you could have the ascended masters working with you. You could have a whole divine lineage of nothing but ascended masters. You could come from that, right? And then we have over here Marie Laveau. You love to help people. You are a pillar in your community. You know, you use your magic for good, whether good or evil. You know, she was, I feel like it's good juju. You know what I mean? You have a lot of luck in your life. This is a blessing that is coming to you because you spoke up, because you laid raw and laid bare your soul and who you are, and you're looking at yourself through the lens of truth. You're no longer allowing different narratives to cloud your judgment, to cloud your mind. You're no longer in the murky waters. Okay? You're no longer in that self-sabotage energy. You have good juju as well because you come from a divine line. Okay, so you hold a lot of cosmic power as well. You could have you could come from Marie Laveau's bloodline. You could have possibly have been her in a past life or like her. What messages do you have for the collective? I gotta go tinkle. Marie Laveau was also known to, in the story that I think, it was either that or maybe it was from what I was, okay, no, it was from the story that I listened to too. You may do certain things, have certain sacrifices that you do in order to become more, make your magic more powerful. And when I say sacrifices, I mean like with her, she placed these chilies in her mouth and she sat with them in her mouth for hours. And you know, chilies, that burns, you know what I mean? It burns your mouth. And sometimes if the oils and the chili oil in your mouth, like, you know, sitting on your tongue, especially for hours, it's going to make your shit raw. You know, it could cause blisters and things like that. So she would do things like that. And then she took those chilies, like she helped somebody get off on a court case where the person could have been guilty, if I'm remembering correctly. So she helped this person get off, and she acquired harvest in her life as well. She got a new home from helping this guy's son. What other messages do you have for this collective watching this reading? What other messages? Thank you, Spirit. So somebody could be haunted by their past. Like we have here, God is my benefactor. I'm going to place that out here. Like somebody is haunted by their past of you. Could be a Sagittarius, could be a Pisces. An affirmation for you. I am making room for an amazing partner in my life. I think that this is an opportunity coming towards you. I feel that it's also a blessing coming to you from your ancestors, because Marie Laveau, she's an ancestral card. So your ancestors are very much here with you. Look, even with all of those in the back. You're very strong. Your crown is very, very strong as well. You could have, your love language could be words of affirmation. Any other, you're very rich spiritually. Very rich. You have a lot of knowledge that you can draw upon from the mysteries. I have been looking into different mysteries as well. So you could be learning and reading, because she has her book open. You know what I'm saying? You could be learning and reading about different mysteries and how you can incorporate them into your life. I'm actually going to start researching root work. You know, I've always been drawn to like herbs and things like that, and I was like looking up some stuff about it, and you know, so you may be called to doing that type of a work as well. She had Marie Laveau had a very, 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 very successful business. You could be a Virgo sun. So we have Virgo out here twice. Okay. It could be a Virgo sun. Okay, that one's blank. What else? Any other messages? You have a Virgo person looking at you. Like I was saying, like Virgos are very analytical. They do like to work behind the scenes. You could have a Virgo sun that's haunted by their past concerning you. You have a Sagittarius that's haunted by their past. You have a Virgo that wants to have a harvest with you. Maybe they could be enraged over you. They could have worn a mask towards you in your life. I gotta go tinkle after this. I gotta go to the restroom. Let's get us, oh, okay. I was like, where did that go? Let's give me some more information, Spirit. Actually, let me look to see what that was. Yeah, somebody gave you like an immature offer in the past, you know, or somebody could want to come towards you to give you some type of a love offer. Maybe you've had a lot of love offers that sabotaged things that you were working on. Because you're such a loving energy and you're a loving spirit, you operate in the energy of love. You know, you're actually in love with love. You're very romantic type of energy. Yeah, your love life blocked your path. You had lovers that blocked your path. They didn't want to see you go anywhere. They didn't want to see you move forward. And it could have caused you a lot of grief. And you could have past lovers that are in grief because you have left them. And because of the impression that you left upon them. Like the loving energy that you had. These people were very careless with you. Where you wanted to expand. Where you were very energetic and wanted to expand things. Like, and you were very adaptable. These people, they didn't want expansion. They wanted to block things. Like I watched... what was it, a short or something like that, where they were talking about things. This woman was like, or the guy came on and he was like, oh, why is it when you women, you know, you get out of a relationship, you know, you level up like this and that, you know. And then a chick came on and she was like, you know, well, we level up because like, one, she was like, what you consider a level up is something that we were trying to get you to do with us when we were together. Maybe you've seen it, I'm not sure. And she was like, you know, maybe you took it as nagging where, you know, we weren't nagging and this and that. And then she's like talking about like, you know, so when, you know, when we're out of that relationship with you, we just get on we get on that shit that we were talking about doing. And so that's why you consider it a level up, because we ain't got nobody there blocking us or stopping us, you know. So that could go either way, either side, like, you know. And that's so crazy too, because I've also been having a lot of things come to me about the pendulum effect, both sides of the coin, the light and the dark, you know, because it's on the bottom of the deck. The light and the dark, like duality. You know what I'm saying? So that may also play a role in this reading. That may be a message for you. Okay, thank you, because I was going to say what was necessarily blocking the path. We have the Empress and the Two of Wands. So you looking out, these people were blocking your path from the world. Like, you know, she's sitting on the world and the world is in the oyster. So that, you know, that's also Venus energy. So they didn't want people to see how bright you were. They didn't want other individuals to just like see you, to see how loving you are, nurturing and caring, to see how much life you bring, to see how strong and stable you are. They didn't want you to rule the world. They felt like, because you, like her sitting on this world, like they knew that you held so much power and so much potential. They didn't want you to become this Empress energy. They were enraged because you are in that energy. They tried to keep you, they held you back. And this is what caused the grief in your life, you know, because you allowed these energies. They didn't like your passion. They didn't like your creativity. They didn't like just how much abundance energy that you had, and they tried to siphon it off. Where they were the night, you were day. And now I'm being called back to that Maxwell song where he was like, I turned day into night. I'm just like that part. He said, I could have died something 1,000 times. I should have told you better nights, better times, better days, and I miss you more and more. So there's that energy there. You have your past lovers that miss you. They're in regret, and they're in the energy of grief now because they know that you, the world is your oyster. They know that you can have anything that you want, and that you are going to have anything that you want. They see that you're looking forward to your future, to the things that you can manifest and accomplish. They know that you are this Emperor or Empress energy. I want to say Empress energy because the Emperor is not out here. And the Empress holds a different type of energy than the Emperor. So you, whether male or female, you know what I mean? You're very nurturing. You're very, very smart and analytical. You're very passionate. You're very grounded. Like you hold all of the elements. And they're good elements. They're the softer parts of it. And this is, you know, and that could have been why they were taking advantage of you. But your path is no longer blocked. You know your divinity. Give me some more information, Spirit. Thank you. Yeah, you walked away from things because maybe you're following the guidance of God. God told you, like, look, hold up. Because God showed you who you were.